I'm not going to give you the answer you want, because the answer you want is kind of a loaded. Everybody's looking for the drama, and really, it's not even. There isn't drama on our end. For EME, it wasn't a drama thing. It was a request. So you have to protect your intellectual property. You have to protect it. So anytime somebody has your IP, your intellectual properties files, freely available on the internet, you have to request those things be removed. You cannot leave those things up. That's part of IP law. You have to protect your IP. And you're going to see companies, developers, IP holders always protecting their IP. So part of this whole conversation is just us doing what we had to do to protect an IP. Now, for proxy specifically, if you play WoW, it has add-ons, right? If you got an Android phone or an Apple phone, you've got a store, right? If you're one of the 0.02% of people that use Windows that have actually bought something from the Windows store, then it's got a store. All those things have to get approved, right? Proxy is not approved. It is not something that any TERA publisher or the developer monitors, which means I cannot sanction it, authorize it. I cannot recommend it to anyone because we don't review it. Worst case scenario, you see the damage meters, you go, damage meters are great. And I go, oh, I think they're great too. And you go, oh, EME thinks that damage meters are great. I can go get proxy. And you download one of the modules and it's a keylogger and they steal your bank account information. I cannot be liable for that. I cannot be attached to that. I cannot attach my product to that, and I cannot attach the developer to that. Because that software is outside of our ecosystem, and it's not, I'm talking to chat. I'm sorry, I should be talking here. Because that tool, that app is outside of our ecosystem and not monitored by us, we cannot recommend it. You can't do it. I can't send you to something that could introduce malware, viruses, exploits onto your system. I can't do it. WoW can recommend add-ons and they control it. Apple, Android, they can recommend those things and they can control them and they can break them. But until a developer and a publisher create those ecosystems for the game that you play, add-ons have to be, we have to always err on the side of protecting you as a user. I don't control it. I don't review it. I don't have anybody reviewing that code. If I put you at risk, then I'm not a good person. I'm not helping you. So there are some tools and systems in proxy that could be very helpful to you. I'm not saying that it's not. I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying that I cannot tell you, I cannot recommend that you use any third-party software ever because it could negatively impact your system, your identity. I have to protect you, which why you see anti-cheat software in games, which why, you know, we tell you do two-step authentication. We tell you all these things that are hurdles that you have to jump over because we're trying to protect you. We're trying to make the software that you're using secure. Additionally, if a third-party software can crash my server, then that sucks for all my players. If you can do packet injection from a third-party software that destroys my Arbiter server so no one can log into the game, if I allow DDoSing to exist, are you happy? Let's say every Saturday you can't play the game because some script kiddie is out there just destroying the Arbiter. I'm irresponsible. I have to protect you. I have to protect the product. I have to protect the IP. There is no drama situation out there. If there was some way for us to have add-ons in the game, I'd be all in because I love add-ons in games. It's not part of our software suite. It's not part of our system, and we don't review it. That's the end of that. That's all it is. I have to protect my users. I have to protect my IP. There's no complicated part about that, for at least from where I'm sitting. We didn't reach out to attack anybody. We aren't anti-damage meters. I use damage meters in every MMO I have that has damage meters except for TERA because I always make sure I'm going through something reputable. I always make sure that I'm not introducing a keylogger. I don't want somebody to see, you know, all the logins for all the sites that I don't want people to know I'm visiting. Did that answer the question, or do you want me to take it in a different direction? Did EME try to connect VHS with their? No, there would be no sense in that. I'm the publisher. I publish their title. I'm just one of many regions. They're the developer. I wouldn't bring a third-party software person to them and say, "Hey, we'd like you to spend more money and develop a development team that we don't." Yeah, no, that's not how that works. It'd be like you bought a car and you go back to the dealership to have them tell the car manufacturer to change it. That's probably a analogy, but no. Bluehole is the designer of the game. The way they design the game is the way they design the game. My feedback is regional. Like regionally, we want this. Regionally, we want this. But I don't go to them and say, "Hey, I don't like the way your game's designed," because I'm not a developer. I don't design the game. This is what they designed. There are people that like this product, but I don't want to make this game more like the games I play. I wouldn't ever look at TERA as a product manager. I would never look at TERA and go, "Well, I don't like something. I want the developer to do something different." No, it's our community doesn't like something. Our players don't like something, or a specific demographic that I'm trying to target doesn't like or does like something. That's what I'm doing. It's not me. This game isn't mine. This game is for the community, designed by somebody else. I never would sit at the design table and tell the designers they're doing something wrong or recommend anything to them unless it was something they were asking for or something specific to the region that would make it more successful.
Do you think that the stuff that people were using Proxy for should have been officially supported in some way then?
I don't want to answer that because
That's fair.
Yeah, it's
kind
one
of
of those.
hard to
I can tell you the things that I like on a personal level, but I don't know all the work that would go into that, right? Like, I have no idea. Looking at other games that I know, like adding in an add-on on WoW could destroy your experience, right? It could just introduce lag. It could introduce latency. Introducing an add-on to show you all the players around you could accidentally show you all the stealth rogues around you. Like, I don't know how much... I don't know how to do any code. Back in the old school days of GeoCities, I did HTML. Right now, I know a little of XML hacking and HTML hacking to put news posts out. I don't know Python. I don't know Unity. I don't know how to do a goddamn thing when it comes to code, making games, or anything like that. So I really cannot step outside of that knowledge and say, yeah, I think they should create, this system that comes from this. No, I don't know.
Because the thing that I think of is, obviously this is officially supported, so the duality of World of Warcraft mods, where there's a mod that comes out, like, this goes way back, but decursive, right? Where you basically just had a hotkey that would automatically select a player in your raid and then decurse them. And that was standard for everyone that raided for a long time. And I remember because I was doing Molten Core with decursive. Eventually, Blizzard was like, no, you can't do this anymore. Like, that breaks the entire design of our raid. You can't do this anymore. So they just, they blocked the add-on and made it so it wasn't usable. But then there's a lot of experiences where an add-on became so popular and so fundamental to the experience of the game that Blizzard just added it into the game themselves. Like scrolling combat text is a good example. So it does make me curious. I wish I would have asked Bluehole this, why damage meters weren't just added into the game.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for that. Again, as a product manager, I don't have that level of conversation with developers. I pass them information, and that's how that works.
I'm not trying to set you up. I didn't
think you were. I would hope that you would, because it'd be a fun challenge to get out of. Chicken Wing. There was a time when EME made the statement. Yeah. So again, EME is a publisher, not a developer. I cannot say what Bluehole is going to do unless they deliver me statements saying this is what they were going to do. I remember what the statements you're talking about. I don't want to comment on them because it wasn't me making that statement. I don't want to speak for somebody else. That's rude and unprofessional. But that's just something to be aware of. Like, we're the publisher. I can't tell you what they're going to do. I can be told this is what they're working on. But like, if I tell you in 8 months, product X is going to create Y content and they don't, I have no control over if they do or not. They told me they were going to do something. They decided at the last minute they're not going to do something. Like, I'm a publisher. I don't have anything to do with it. So it may have been a situation where they pivoted. EME was mistaken. There could be a lot of things, but yeah, EME is not in control of the development of the game.
I love add-ons. It's a side game for me in WoW. Like when I resubscribe, I spend hours just getting my add-ons set up, and it's actually really fun. But then it
Well,
becomes a chore.
yeah, I'll tell you right now, right? So I play ESO, and if I don't have the gatherables add-on, that game is almost unplayable.
Yeah. I was a big
Yeah.
fan of Sky Shards.
Yeah,
It's weird like that, right? It's the same with Path of Exile. If you don't have a loot mod on, your
Yeah.
experience is awful.
You have to
Like,
have
just
loot.
awful.
If you don't have a loot filter, there are times like the higher progression you get, you can't see anything.
The entire floor is covered with gray and green, like all different kinds of colors of crap and shields and everything, and gems are everywhere. You're just going insane, and it makes your computer lag. Like if you don't turn off all those items and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, we're fighting a boss right now, right? Who,
Valkyrie's kind of hard on this fight, man. My Valk is jumping all around.
yeah, if you need to set yourself in the middle and
And the camera's
get
not
your
helping.
shit together.
Oh, I thought it was safe.
Nope.
Did I miss? Did I
Luckily,
miss?
luckily you have me.
So while you guys are fighting that boss, I'm gonna say something related to what Shiro just said. Shiro said, "Imagine someone breaking the door of your house and moving your stuff without your permission." Okay, this isn't
Did
exactly
they
that
move it
situation.
to a better position?
That's exactly what I was
Can
gonna
I
say.
see the TV better now?
So ever since Sarah and I moved into this house, our carpet's been awful. So we finally bought new carpet. Like 8
Shag
years
carpet? Did
after
you
we
get
bought the
shag
house.
carpet?
No, I did simp for some shag carpet. All right, it didn't turn
Did
out.
it feel so good on the toes?
I know it does. But so we got some really nice carpet. I'm really happy with it. And the carpet installers, we paid them to move our furniture so that they could do the install and then move it back. They changed our entire layout of our living room to where the couch is in front of the TV, and I like it more now. They changed it. Never thought about doing it the way they did it. They didn't remember how it was, but now it's better, and I'm happy.
So the important thing to realize there, and I'm going to steal your story. You invited them in, and you've now rejected them. They no longer have access.
Yeah, they're out.
So if you can apply something under a controlled situation and then revoke access, that sounds cool. Not all third-party software does that. In fact, it's kind of one of the things that you try to do, right? Hey, just click this link so you can do the thing, and then on the back end they're doing something else that allows them to have permanent access. And that's what I can't control.